now. Hello? Sorry, the mic wasn't plugged in. Can you guys hear me now? We good? All right, sweet. All right, so today I don't have a topic of discussion. What I'm going to be doing is updating you guys on what I'm doing, like some updates for the channel, how I'm planning to run things now, and maybe we'll do like a chill and hang out like session after. But to start things off, I started a Discord. Okay, so the link is in the description. You guys can check that out there. In that Discord, what we have is, actually, I'll just show you guys. So this is where I'm gonna be updating you guys on, whatever is going on with the channel. Right here, I updated today that I will not be attending Pasadena anymore because some stuff came up, and honestly, like the real reason is I'm not down to wear a mask the whole 2 days. So because of that, I just canceled it. I'll just go another time whenever they lift those the masks and stuff like that. So that's the main reason. Also, I would save myself money, and yeah. No Pasadena for me. Some other stuff is like some general talks, and then this is something that I think is really cool. So it's pickups. So people here can share whatever they picked up, and like other people can give them feedback. I started it off yesterday where I picked up these two. They're two probably of the rarest manga books out there. I covered these in the rarest sealed items, volume 1 and 2. These are brand new sealed, and like on Patreon, I'll reveal to you guys like what I paid for them and stuff like that. But for the most part, like here, I'll share with you guys what I've been picking up, and you guys can follow along, and also you guys can share with me what you've been picking up. Like this gentleman here, you can see here, nothing special. Got it for a good price. I asked him, are you adding to the personal collection, or are you ripping it? He's like 100% keeping sealed. And obviously I replied with my favorite gift, my man. So yeah, and then so I'm hoping you guys can join us there. It's you can't find the Discord link. Oh, hold on a second then. Let me just fix that real quick. All right. So all right, now it should be updated in the description. Just refresh and you'll find it. So yeah, anyway, hopefully you guys can join in here, and it'll be the main way to kind of stay connected with the community for now. I do plan on starting a mailing list, but I'm trying to get off of Instagram. I just find that it wastes too much of my time, and yeah, like I'd rather do something else with my time than go on Instagram. So I basically subletted that to somebody. He's taking care of all the posts, and he's going to be taking care of the reels and stuff like that. I'm just going to be sending him the images if I ever get anything new and stuff like that, and then he'll post them on my behalf. But otherwise, I don't even have the password for it anymore. So don't message me on there. It's not going to be of any help. So yeah, I gave that up. So now I'm going to be just running this, as well as the YouTube channel, as well as Patreon. Okay, I think it's just going to narrow down my list of things that I have to take care of. So that's without any kind of distractions. And he's running the TikTok, the Facebook page, all these things. Like he's doing all of it. Shout out to you, Nano. So he's going to be doing that. And he's also editing for me now. So that's why you see like in the latest video, you have all these like crazy transitions and stuff like that. That's not me. I'm more of a laid back, mellow type of editor, where it's like you can see the difference in styles. But either way, it'll get a lot more work off my plate. And now the schedule is going to be one video every Monday, one video every Friday. And then I'm gonna try and do a live every Wednesday, okay, where we can just kind of chill, talk market updates. Like I want to talk about Magnificent Mavens and like the whole Pharaoh Rare or whatever it's called for DMG. We'll talk about that today. But I think that that's a good schedule where, because I do want to take the YouTube thing seriously. I think I have a lot of good information I can put out there, as well as I have a lot of good ways to monetize my presence on here, because I feel like I can bring value through my products and my ideas. So that's kind of what I wanted to do in terms of YouTube schedule, as well as what's it called? The Discord. All right. Now I don't know if I'll be replying to everything. Like obviously I'm gonna reply the first like week or 2 weeks. So if you guys wanna join in there, and like also I would love any recommendations. Like as you can see on my on the Discord, like I don't even know what this one is. Like I think I joined it like everything Alibaba. I don't know where I joined this, but I'm somehow in it. But like all the other ones, like I'm only in the collector one, and then yeah. So I don't know too much about Discord. I don't really use it. If you guys have some feedback about the hashtags or whatever it is, let me know and I'll update them. But yeah, so far I'm in the everything Alibaba. I guess I can leave that, but I don't know how I got in there, to be honest with you. So yeah. And then, so yeah, anyway, that's going to be the schedule from now on. Monday, Friday, new videos, and then Wednesday we'll do a live, or maybe Sunday. I don't know, whatever one you guys prefer. And we'll go from there and see how that goes. Again, I am trying to take the YouTube thing a little bit more serious, as I do think that I have good potential here. Now, on Patreon, if you guys are patrons, go check out the latest post that I made. I am updating the tiers. So the $3 tier, what you're going to be getting is updates on my projects I'm working on. So I do have an update right now for the binders that I'm going to be posting there soon. So the lowest tier, I think it's like $2 or $3. It's basically the same thing as being a YouTube member. You're going to get videos, photos of my upcoming binders, products that I'm planning to work on, and you guys will be up to date with it. And then you'll be able to also be able to like support the channel monetarily, like a couple of bucks every month. And then the $10 tier, what I'm gonna do with that is, instead of weekly videos, what I'm actually doing is bi-weekly articles where I post my new information that I found while digging around in the hobby, while stuff that I found out before, and I'll be able to make like an actual article for you guys to read. Number one, it'll save you guys time. Number two, and the most important, is I'll be able to edit it if I find new things, right? I don't have to record a whole new video or whatever, like how I was doing before. So what I think the article is really, really important. And the third reason is it'll allow new patrons to be able to search like the Patreon page for articles that are like from the past, so that they don't have to go digging through videos, because the videos are really not organized and honestly not really well made. It seemed a lot better in my head when I first started doing it compared to what it is now. It just causes a lot of problems. So what I'm going to be doing is 100% articles. And then for the upper tier, that's the people who are actually trying to make like a business and whatever. They're not just trying to collect. Those I'm going to be sharing my sales data. I'm going to be sharing my pickups, purchases, whatever price I paid, why I paid it, and any moves that I'm making. So that's kind of those are the three tiers. It's $2 or $3, I don't remember, and then there's $10 and then $15. The amount of information you're getting is substantially higher than what you're paying, but I am like very low presence right now in the internet world, so demand is not really there for my stuff. So I mean, you get it for cheap. But in my opinion, I do think that the value that you're getting there is quite a bit higher than $15. So yeah, that's the Patreon updates, and that's pretty much it. So now we can get into like just chatting. I'll answer some questions that you guys have, and yeah, we'll I'll probably give it like another hour or so with you guys, or like up to an hour. So some of you guys, one of you asked, what do you think about Starlights? Good investment or a flop? Starlights are okay. I think, like, I don't really understand why people gravitate towards these modern stuff. Like, okay, if you're buying Starlights, is it because you play the game or is it because you collect them? Like what exactly are you collecting? Because Starlights are in the territory of like OG stuff, right? Like you can get a Jinzo for the same price as a Starlight. So at that point, I have to question. It's like, are you in it to collect? What are you trying to collect? Like, is it because you want good condition cards or good condition rare cards? Fair enough. I think Starlights are the only way you can. I mean, sorry. First of all, I can't read chat while I'm talking, so I'll talk and I'll address the next question. So, yeah, I think at that point you gotta ask yourself, am I collecting just for condition rarity, or am I collecting the actual cards that I like, right? Because most people who actually collect are Duel Monsters guys or GX guys, maybe 5Ds guys, right? Like there's not really a lot of collectors from the 2010 to 2020 era. So I guess, like, why is it that you're trying to collect Starlights? Is it you just like the way that they look? If you like the way that they look, then there's nothing that can satisfy that other than Starlights. They're made that way to look really blinged out. So my opinion on them is, I don't think that they will flop. I really don't think so, because they're just way too hard to attain. I think that the higher end ones are going to drop in price. So if you're trying to collect the lower end stuff first, I think that's a good move, because in the long term, I think that the higher end stuff is going to go down in price. So like all these Starlights under $100, that's like really dirt cheap in my opinion. I think you can do a lot worse than a Starlight Rare for $50. All right, that's what I think about that. I think the higher end stuff are I don't know how I feel about, like, you know, $1,000 Appaloosa or whatever. You know what I mean? I don't think that it's I don't know how somebody can justify that to themselves, because you can buy a lot for $1,000 better than Appaloosa in terms of collecting. Do you own any Maximum Gold Blue Eyes? Any thoughts on it? If not, no, I don't own any Maximum Gold. I hate gold rarity. Like, if there's one rarity that I wish I can take out of the game, it is gold rares. I cannot stand that rarity. It just it just looks so tacky, bro. Like, the execution is terrible. Every single card is so flawed. The centering is trash. Like, I just can't stand gold rares, man. Like, I'm sorry to pop your bubble. I'm sure that you have it. That's why you're asking. But, man, I cannot stand gold rares. They are absolutely the worst rarity in all of Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. Like, I'd rather literally have a common LOB Blue Eyes or SDK Blue Eyes before I have a gold rare. It looks so tacky to me. I just don't understand how people can collect gold rares, man. Next. Sorry again to pop your bubble. I understand the Stardust on Black Rose Starlight, but outside of that, it's very modern centric. Exactly. So all you have to do is just wait out the rotation, right? Like, once Appaloosa, IP Masquerena, those cards come out of rotation and they become like history, you'll be able to pick them up for cheap. The problem is that you're not going to be able to get them in really good condition, right? And that's where I understand why people like kind of pre-order their Starlights, because Starlights are available. What's not available is really good condition ones, especially for like those, you know, like Effect Veilers, the stuff that is playable right now, right? So yeah, so in my opinion, I think Starlights. You definitely should not be buying PSA 10s. Okay, you definitely should not be buying PSA graded Starlights. If you're trying to collect Starlights, it should be binder only, and you should have like, I think they release 5 every single set, and then there's 20 of them. So what you should do is, if I was collecting them, I would recommend a 4-pocket binder, 4 column binder, and then you basically have what's it called? You basically have all the every single year, right? Because there's 4 sets, 20 of them. Yeah, and you basically have every single year that they were released back to back to back. I think that would look pretty badass. It would look pretty great. But even then, like, they kind of botched it because somebody told me that what's it called? Somebody told me that they changed the printing quality of Starlights, so now even Starlights are shitting the bed. Like, I don't understand what Konami's doing, to be honest with you. I mean, even that, they kind of ruined it. To be honest with you, I don't get what Konami's doing, man. Like, yeah, it just makes no sense to me. Like, this Starlights are like their last straw to keep collector base alive for their modern sets, man. Like, they're completely shitting the bed for ghost rares. Secret rares are completely like, secret rares are like nothing now. Secret rares like don't mean anything anymore. Ghost shares pretty much don't mean anything. Imagine a ghost share being like $50. Like, what is that? I don't know, man. Like, I think Konami is really not playing the collector game right. It's really not, and they won't come out with any new artworks. That's what pisses me off. You know what I mean? Like, that's what really pisses me off. What is wrong with them? Like, it's so easy. Commission somebody to create a new artwork. You have so many manga panels where you can pull out new Stardust artworks. Why do you gotta keep using the same thing? Like, this is what Pokemon is doing correct. Although Pokemon is printing sets out the ass, like, consistently, and the sets are absolutely massive. The cards are gorgeous, okay? Like, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna actually show you guys my Evolving Skies binder, okay? I'm gonna make a video on it. You're gonna see just how beautiful those cards look. It's like, at least they're doing something to appease the collector. Konami doesn't give a damn about about collectors, man. Like, it's kind of crazy to me, man. The alt arts in Pokemon, like, truly, okay, like, there is a hype, okay, behind them, but they are truly beautiful cards. Like, I really commend Pokemon for doing whatever there is that they're doing, man. Like, all these new artists are coming out of the woodworks. All these like environmental cards, it's just so nice. Like, for Yu-Gi-Oh, I think it's overdue, man, to be honest with you. Let's go next. Do I like Thousand Dragon or Blue Eyes Toon more? I love Thousand Dragon. I think it's one of the best looking artworks. I love it. It's so wise. Buy now and exit within 3 to 4 years max. What are some things that you think would be a good buy following this rule? Oh, I don't know. I don't do these kind of like crystal ball questions. Zaya said hi, hello. The Sound of Art. Gold rarity is trash. Agreed. No, I don't. I'm thinking of buying though. I don't know. I think you can buy better things for that. How much does it go for, if you don't mind me asking? What's gold rare Blue Eyes go for? NA gold rarity is nice. If quality would be good, I disagree. I just don't like the way that they look. I think they look so tacky. The foiling on gold rares is so bad. I personally like the pop of the new premium gold, but because the printing quality is trash, they have so many issues. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a fan. I just don't like the way they look. Do you know the price of a secret of Red Eyes Dark Dragoon tin card? Because I pulled a card last Monday. Bro, you can look it up yourself. Why you gotta ask me? I think Starlight started with 4 and then switched to 5%. Oh, if they did 4, I think that would have been a perfect amount, because then you can put them, what's it called? You can put them in like the 4 pocket binder. I really like that. I like stuff where it's like you can actually present it. Presentability is actually just as important as the cards themselves. You can have literally a lower end budget collection, and if you display it properly, it'll make all the difference. I have so many, like I've seen so many people that collect like so many cool and awesome things in Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And when they go to display them, it looks like trash. So it's like, I think displayability is so important. It's just as important, if not more, than the actual like the actual cards themselves. Kaiba Corp calling. No, my wife calling. What conditions, if any, would be better to buy a non-graded version of a card versus a graded card, even 9s and 10s? What conditions? I'm not quite sure what you're saying, to be honest. Bro, I hate the amount of times they use tablet DM blue eyes and that weird red eyes. Yeah, I don't mind the tablet blue eyes too much because it looks like the anime blue eyes, but the other ones, nah, they're they're a pass for me, bro. And also, how come we have not gotten a secret rare blue eyes, bro? Like SDKR. Like, when are we due for that? Like, we've gotten every single rarity except the stupid secret rare, which in my opinion, it would look the best in. The new Garatina and Lugia are fire. I agree. Honestly, I do agree with that. Without different arts in Pokemon, it would be dead. I mean, sure, I agree with that, but uh, I mean, I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh is far off from dying. To be honest, I don't think it's like immune to. It's just a giant, right? And giants take a long time for them to fall, but when they fall, it's pretty bad. Um, 270 or 300 and up for PSA 10. Wait, are you talking about PSA 10 gold rare? Are you out of your mind? That is absolutely not a good purchase. Thoughts on Mama? I think Magnificent Mavens. We'll talk about that after. I honestly think Starlights are trash. They're just better versions of Hobby League parallel rares. Nah, man. Hobby League parallel rares are ugly, bro. I have them. I have a complete set. The Hobby League ones are... They don't feel like Yu-Gi-Oh cards, man. Like, they're so thick. They have, like, this coating on top of them. I'm just not a fan. I don't like them. Starlight rares are nice, man. Like, you have to see them in person. I'm sure... when you say that, I think you haven't seen them in person. Starlight rares are nice. They're badass looking cards. What's the current Marty PSA 10 SDK SDY first ed DM build? Bro, Gabby, man, how come you always ask me about SDK SDY? Like, I get it. You own a SDK SDY. Like, we get it. PSA 10 is like PSA 10 SDK SDY. I don't know, bro. Like, go look at sold. Probably like 10K. For SDK, I don't know SDY, maybe 3 or 4. If you sold PSA card displays next, that would be dope. I mean, I don't sell them like this one. You mean? Do you mean like these displays? Plan to pick up one of each of your binders. I appreciate it, Rainbow. Thank you. A secret rare SDK would go hard. Yeah, I think if they did it like Speed Duel or something, oh, that product would sell out. For maximum gold blue eyes. Yeah, no, forget about it, bro. That's a bad deal. In my opinion, I don't think that's good. You could stack with HL cards back in the day. There's too many Starlights out. Starlights in person are incredible. Yeah, I do think so. I do agree. I mean, I think Starlights look absolutely gorgeous, to be honest with you. Like, they're really, really nice. And I've seen what blue eyes would look like because I have the PSEC one, right? Like, I covered it in a video. So that Starlight blue eyes, I mean, it's beautiful, man. Like, I can't hate against Starlights. They're really nice. They're rare. But the only problem is, in my opinion, I think they're putting out too much. I think 2 starlights in the set, and then 2 starlights every single set, 8 starlights a year. It will make it a lot more chase worthy, number one. And then number two, it's gonna be like people are gonna be more willing to collect. When you have to collect 20 starlights, okay, 20, minimum $100 each, if not like $400 each, okay, that's a lot of money, man. Like that $8,000, nobody has expendable income like that to pay on modern stuff. Like the standing ones, for example, the one that holds 3 eyes. Oh, I see. I mean, you can get those now, like on eBay for so much cheaper. I don't think you need me for that. I like to do stuff where it's like it improves the quality of life of people. Like this stupid ultimate Kaiba case, okay, that literally doesn't fit anything. Just wait until you see the foams that I'm making for them, man. It's literally goes from a useless piece of trash that doesn't do anything to a way to store all of your high-end cards. Have an opinion on Weiss Schwartz cards? Recently discovered them. Personally like the idea, just not look at some of the cards. I like Weiss Schwartz, okay? I like the IPs that they tackle. Though I've never played the game. I don't play a single card game in my life. I've never played. But in terms of what's it called? In terms of what's it called? The way that they produce, I like their signature idea, to be honest with you. I think that that's a great idea. The only problem is I don't like their non-signature cards. Their non-signature cards are basically anime screenshots slapped onto the card. So I'm not a fan of that, but I do like the SSPs, or I think it's called secret signature something. I don't remember. Hey, thanks for all. Your content is top quality. Thank you so much, VM. Can't wait for this new rarity that released in Japan next year. Oh, really? Do you have pictures or something? Could you link us? I own 3 sample summon skulls. Do you have an idea of a total population? Thanks for the answer. A lot. There's a lot of sample summon skulls. It's not rare at all. It's not rare at all. Like, not even a little bit. I have a video coming up on that, actually. I'm just waiting for my boy Crispy to send me the sample summon skull. Crispy AF Collectibles. He's sending me his copy so I can do the video, and then I'm sending it back. What's it called? Yeah. wait till that video comes out. Would be cool to see the glass box break. Not happening, man. Not happening. Not enough people bought. What era do you think had the most demand for Yu-Gi-Oh based on player base plus anime watchers, purchasing power, people interested in the hobby, and where do you see it now? Absolutely the original Duel Monsters era. And there's nothing that comes close to that. Second would be 5Ds, and then third would be Zexal, and then GX, and I don't know after that. But definitely Duel Monsters. There's nothing that comes close to Duel Monsters. There's nothing that comes close to Duel Monsters. Blue Eye Shining could be revealed to us tomorrow, as Battles of Legend is likely to be revealed via Yugi tubers if they follow the OCG pattern for the animation chronicles. Yeah, I don't know what that means. Oh, Blue Eye Starlight. Oh, could be revealed to us tomorrow. Interesting. Really? I would love to see that. That would be pretty insane. Cool. Why do you hate Blue Eye Shining Dragon? Also, thoughts on Cyber Harpy Lady from RP2? I think you mean RP1. Why is it so rare? Do you own any? Yeah, I own a PSA 8, but I actually recently sold it. I have to update my Patreon group, actually. But yeah, I recently sold it like 2 days ago. Blue Eyes. I don't hate Shining Dragon. I just don't think it looks as good as the other stuff. I like Strato Starlight. Not much money. Yeah, a lot of these Starlights are extremely cheap, to be honest with you. Like I think you can do a lot worse than $50 for Starlight Rares. I think they're great. And they're a great way to start collecting, right? Like if you're trying to collect stuff, I think Starlight Rares are the go-to for this. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you know, once a month you have $50, you spend $50, you pick up a Starlight Rare, and you continue growing your binder over the years. The problem is that people don't want to spend the time it takes to collect the things that you want to collect, right? Like they want to be able to buy everything at once and not feel like, to me, I get enjoyment out of staying there and, you know, having empty slots in my binder and then filling them up like once every couple of weeks. Like I take enjoyment in that, right? So some people, they don't want to do that. And that's why they end up quitting. Like so many people can't keep something in their collection for more than a couple months. Like they literally start to itch in order to sell it. I don't get it. Maybe they're not true collectors. No, I'm joking. Ordered your binder today. I'm hyped for that. I appreciate it, Coffee Lab. Thank you very much for your support, man. Thank you. The rarity named Quarter Century Secret Rare. Currently not more info out yet. Releases 18th of February. I mean, nothing will beat Secret Rare. NA Secret Rare. Nothing will ever beat that, in my opinion. Do you think premium BGS Gold 10 gets over PSA 10s worth the extra money or rip-off? Rip-off. I don't think BGS will survive the decade. I don't think so. I think BGS will be gone by 2030. Absolutely terrible company. Terrible, terrible company. 5Ds was such a good era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Collecting and dueling. It is, yeah. It's arguably the best in terms of just overall, the whole package. I think 5Ds had everything going for it. I'd love more OCG stuff. I'll be covering those soon. Why people are dumb buying 100 meta cards when they'll be worth 17 the year after, while they can buy DM cards that only go up and much better to play with. Okay, well, they're not much better to play with. That's for sure. But, well, it's because they're using them, right? Like, they use the meta cards. And a lot of people treat the game as just for fun, right? Like, you have to understand it's not just an investment to most people, right? Yeah, it's not just an investment to most people. Actually play the game, right? Starlights bring aesthetics to the binder. Absolutely, man. Starlights look absolutely amazing, man. Like I really do recommend, like if you want to collect modern stuff and you want to, you know, be hyped for the new releases, be hyped for these things, I highly recommend Starlight Rares. I think, like I understand that people want to be involved in like kind of this community thing. Like for me, I'm a loner type of dude. Like for me, I like to collect. I don't like listening to people. I don't like talking to people. So for me, it's like I'd rather stay away from like those whole updates and stuff like that. So that's why I don't really do modern stuff, but I get why people want to be involved in like this whole community and these sneak peeks and these Yu-Gi tubers covering these new sets. Like I get it. Like I understand the thought process. It's just not for me. But I think if you want to be involved in that and buy something that is collectible, that retains a little bit of its value, at least 80%, I think Starlight Rares are a great option. And they're the only option in my opinion. BGS collectors triggered. Good. I think that company is so bad. So bad. When you pack your items to ship, does presentation matter or just whatever works the cheapest method? I mean, I toss in a business card, if that makes sense. You know what I might do? I really want to do a video of a day in the life, bro. Like those videos always take off on YouTube. I think it will be really, really interesting for you guys to see like how I run my day. I think people would like that. And then another video that I want to do is how do I package my shipments? I think that will be really good. So maybe I'll do those. But yeah, I don't take too much like I don't take presentation too serious. Did I duel during GX era? No, I didn't duel during any era. People buy meta because those are the best cards to play. Exactly. These are different demographics. Yeah, exactly. Have the same thoughts on the Weiss Schwartz topic I asked earlier. Will you buy any of the Avatar Last Airbender Weiss Schwartz that is coming out eventually? Nah. For me, like Yu-Gi-Oh is already too much in my opinion. I think it's allocated enough of my resources that I don't want to put it into anything else, to be honest with you. I'd rather just stay as I am. Those deck box protectors you made are one of the best things, bro. I love holding my collection without getting my humans oil on it. Yeah, that's what it's made for, right? And not only that, it actually protects from drops like as good as acrylics, to be honest with you. What I like about them is that they don't take up bulk. That's the most important thing. Like when you have, like when I hold this tin, right? If I was to make an acrylic case for this, you know how much it would weigh? It would be so bulky, right? Like when you have this, I don't know. To me, it just makes sense. It makes sense. That's what I'll say about that. You know, some people like the acrylics. That's cool. If you guys want to pick up your acrylics, TotalEmpireLLC.com. Use Strictly5. But for me, I think that the plastic ones do a better job overall. Let's see. What do you like about Zexal? It's okay. I mean, I like Zexal because that was kind of where I was like online, like checking out meta and stuff like that. But that's the extent of my existence there. With the introduction of the sub formats, Goats, Go, Edison, etc., and them becoming more solidified / official by Konami, I've noticed an increase in meta stuff for those formats. Hopefully this continues. I agree. I think that the meta stuff for older formats is fantastic. The only problem is that it makes the maxing out your rarity thing very dangerous, right? Like if they release a Starlight Metamorphosis, what's going to happen to CP Metamorphosis, right? Like, is it still going to be $1,000 card, right? Like, or is it going to drop in price? That's the problem. Like, I would love to know what you guys think would happen. Yeah. I keep those business cards when I buy from you. Hey, I appreciate it, my man. Shout out to you. You should do a tour video of your entire collection in your new place and anything you've changed, like where you place your most prized possessions, etc. Most likely, I won't do that. I'll most likely do a studio because everything of my prized possessions actually went to storage. The place is a lot smaller here compared to my old one. So now I only keep like the stuff that I actively sell, and anything other than that, I have to go to storage to pick up. So that's why it's very different. Like every video, I need to know what items I need, and then I have to go get them from storage, bring them back. It's just a pain. So most likely, it's not even going to be worth anything. It's not even going to be worth the time. Do you like / collect Digimon? I love Digimon. I actually, a lot of, I used to buy Series 3 blisters, and I had so many. Like if you scroll on my Instagram, scroll down to the bottom, you'll see like I had so many blisters, cases. But I sold everything during like the whole boom. Sold it for like $300 a blister. Like absolutely disgusting, bro. So expensive. I bought them for like $20 a pop or something like that. It was crazy. How do you see the value for AE altis from CRV or EEN compared to NA? Excited to see the binders when they get here. I appreciate it, Jeremy. Thank you very much for your support. I see CRV and EEN being better than NA for the most part. The people who are willing to buy AE have more money. But for me, like, I just like NA because that's what I grew up with, right? So that's what I collect. And it's the one that I have most access to. AE has this like massive barrier to entry. It's actually worse than European. And and that's something that like stops me from like going all into AE stuff. That's my thoughts. I like NA more when it comes to me, and I think more people with bigger pockets will buy NA before they'll buy Euro or AE. Why do you think the Naruto TCG never popped off, considering the success of Dragon Ball TCG, even though Naruto is more popular? Well, Dragon Ball has more. Number one, Dragon Ball has more characters and more forms, right? But that's not the only thing. Dragon Ball also has. Also, Naruto is nowhere near as popular as Dragon Ball, bro. Like, Dragon Ball is like one of the most iconic animes of all time. Like, Naruto is iconic too, but it's not. It's not Dragon Ball Z level. Like, let's not get it twisted. Uh, and also, I don't know. Like, I mean, I still don't think the Dragon Ball Z TCG popped off. Like, I think it's okay. I definitely think. I mean, dude, it surviving 2-3 years is not 2-3 years is not surviving. 2-3 years is 5 years, 6 years, 10 years is surviving. 2-3 years is nothing like that, bro. Harry Potter TCG lasted 2 years, right? Look at it now; it's nothing. So I don't want you to think like don't think short term. You have to think long term, right? Do you have booster boxes protectors for like Battles of Legend size booster boxes? I think those are 36 pack. Yeah, I do. They're called Legendary Duelist booster packs, booster box protectors. You'll find them on my eBay store. I don't think they're on my website yet because I forgot to put them up there now that I think about it. You going a little bit for One Piece TCG? No. Do you plan to sell your OCG altis you got from Japan recently? Also, what site did you use? Bai? I'll explain what site I did, and yeah, I do plan to sell them. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't want them for my collection. But yeah, I will explain how I got them and stuff like that in a separate video. I don't want to spoil it. Hi sir, do you know when the Black Rose Dragon Ultra first egg comes back from your PSA submission? The card that you pulled for casual Yugi stuff. How can I know, bro? TCG PSA knows. It's there. I don't know when it will come back. I think true collectors will always favor first print over new rarity, so CP Metamorphosis would always be a Starlight print. Maybe, yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'd definitely be interested to see how it comes up. I mean, how did Book of Moon do? Right? Like, I'm sure Book of Moon dropped in price, right? CP? I don't think it's going to crash, but I definitely think it dropped in price. Hey, I appreciate a lot of your vids. Chemical Biohazard. I appreciate the dono, man. Thank you for the toonie. Thank you, man. Hey, I appreciate a lot of your vids. They are quite useful for new collectors like me. What do you think is the most worthy product right now? I don't answer questions like that. Came up. The problem with every new amazing rarity they release for the same original X card, the more they release, the more original becomes a standout. That is true, but it also has that whole sports cards vibe, in my opinion, like where they do like, oh, signature, rookie patch, they slap on some shit. I don't know what they do with it, but it does give me those kind of vibes. Money wise though, it popped off. Yeah, I mean, for now, yeah, it popped off. But again, I don't know long term. I don't know 5 years from now what it will be. To be fair, didn't the regular Dragon Ball TCG not do well? And it's new Dragon Ball Super TCG that's doing well. I don't know if he was talking. I thought he was talking about Dragon Ball Super, to be honest with you. I don't know. I might be wrong. High-end Yu-Gi-Oh is so expensive it makes it near impossible to collect other high-end TCGs such as DBZ and Pokemon. Yeah, I mean, high-end Yu-Gi-Oh is stupid rare. That's the main reason why. It's like really rare. Do you like the new 5Ds era archetypes that have been coming back in new sets like Blackwing slash Morphotronics? I have no idea what's coming back in new sets, bro. I don't collect. I don't play the game. I don't know what is even happening in modern. I don't know anything. Okay, like I have no time to even like think about it because I'm not interested in it at all. Like, yeah. It's really weird, I know, but I honestly don't keep track of any new set whatsoever. Anayo Battles of Legends are smaller than most boxes, 24 pack small box. Really? Yeah, then no, I don't have anything. I'm sorry. Are there cards that you will never sell or trade? Probably my DMG G3. I'll probably never sell it. Listen, can we invest in your company, Kaiba? Nah. My company is privately owned and it will always be privately owned. Did you ever get around to finishing your promo binder? No, what I'm doing right now is actually I'm waiting for my binders to come in, and then I'm gonna do an update on that so that I can like pump the binders at the same time. You feel? Rarest GX card to pull in your opinion? Magic Formula. You gotta repeat that you aren't into modern so damn much. For real. Any thoughts on new maybe Yu-Gi-Oh cards for Yu-Gi-Oh? I see full border cards. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how well they'll do for full arts. I like full arts, but I don't like them the way that Yu-Gi-Oh cards are made full arts. I like full arts. I like full arts like the Dark Magician Girl DDM promos that I did. Actually caught up thoughts on Elon buying Twitter. Elon buying Twitter is I don't know, man. Like I don't really just like how I don't follow modern, like I'm kind of in my own bubble, if that makes sense. Like I don't really pay attention to the news. Um I like my TV doesn't even have cable or anything, right? Like I don't have the news whatsoever. I don't watch the news. I'm not interested in what they have to say. I am completely like okay, like when Doctor Strange gets pushed out of his body and like his spirit kind of leaves. Okay, that's where I am right now when it comes to the real world. Like let's just say the body is the real world. I'm not in that. Like I don't pay attention. Everything that I want to know, like I have to look up. So I didn't even know that he bought Twitter. So I don't have any thoughts, man. Like I didn't know that he bought Twitter at all, to be honest with you. So I really don't know. Do you collect prize cards? If yes, how many of them do you have? I have Festa and G3. That's it. Glass is stupid rare in English first ed. Absolutely it is, yeah. To be fair, vintage costs way too much for new people that want to collect. Yeah, no, I understand why. But sometimes instead of settling for the condition rarity, you have to settle for instead of settling for cards, settle for the condition, right? Like $300 can get you a LP VLP Jinzo, right? A Starlight Rare is $300, right? So instead of like talking about buying Starlight Rares, there's a very LP Jinzo PSP First Ed waiting for you to get picked up, right? But you don't want to settle for card condition. You don't want to settle for the card for the condition, but you're willing to settle for the card. Like, I don't know. I'm not like that. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not like that. For me, I think cards like matter way more than condition, in my opinion. So. Thoughts on Pharaoh Rare, Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, and DMG in the new set. So what Blue Eyes art did they use? I know they used the regular DMG. Did they use SDK art? Do you have any signed in real actor signed stuff, and how do you feel about them from an investment point of view? Dan Green, Eric Stewart, etc. I have the DMG one. The voice actor for DMG, but I didn't buy that. Like, bro, I don't give a shit about I don't give a shit about signatures, man. Like I don't care. Because like it might sound like self-righteous or whatever, but I do think it has a lot of it has a lot of idolatry embedded in the whole collecting of signatures. I'm not really about that life, you know what I mean? Like uh you know, those people are cool. They did a good job in the voice acting, but I don't really, I don't do the whole signature thing because I'm not, I don't, it's not for me. You know what I mean? I don't do this, but I do have one DMG signed that was sent to me by a friend. Like he sent it to me as a gift. That's the only thing. But in terms of how do I feel about them as an investment point of view, I don't invest in them because again, like I'm not interested in people. I'm interested in ideas. But in terms of how other people view it, I mean, you can see with Pokemon, it kind of took off, but you need like that right signature. You can't have signature that is easily replicated, like you can get it easily, right? Um, so what I mean by that is, what's it called? Sorry, I read the chat. I shouldn't have done that. um, yeah, what I mean by that is like the uh, you need a signature that does not pop up very often. Like Ken Sugimori, for example, is a lot better than Arita. So yeah, strictly in the simulacrum. uh, what do you think of Duelist Revolution as a set? I think it's a great set, to be honest with you. Uh, I think it's one of the best sets ever released, arguably. I mean, it had what El Shadal, it had Scraps, you know, Pot of Duality, Effect Veiler. I mean, it's a stacked set. It's a really good set. The only issue is that the Ghoster is dog shit, but otherwise, I think it's really great. What's the best PSA card to invest in right now? Thanks, man. I don't have a crystal ball. Going back to the point earlier in the stream, would be interested in a day in a life video. Watching someone so focused and not wasting away their days would be intriguing to say the least. Thank you, man. I try. LOBR. Oh, I see. Let me look it up real quick, actually. Do you guys have a picture you can link or something? Oh wait, I blocked Google. I don't have Google. So I need you guys to link me the picture if you don't mind. I can't look it up. I don't have Google search. To be honest, when I got back into Yu-Gi-Oh, I never cared for condition until recently. Mod play is another great option. Got my hands on some good looking mod play cards. Exactly, like if your cards look really good on the front and they don't look good on the back, who cares? Like they're going in the binder anyway. So yeah, there's a couple on eBay right now. Actually, let me check. What is it called? Let's see. So what did they like? Oh, I see. I mean, it's okay. It looks too gimmicky, man. Like the new cards, like they just don't look that good. I don't know what it is. They just look so plasticky. It's okay. Definitely don't think it's $300 worth. That's for sure. Um, I'll even collect high-end damaged HP cards. I just like the cards. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like that's a real collector right there. When somebody, like for me, when I first started, I started collecting MP HP until I started being able to like kind of flip them, make some money, and then move up. I wish there was someone with high-end Yu-Gi-Oh around me I can trade with. Yeah, I mean, Lost Art is a sick set. So many cool cards. I agree. I think Lost Art is one of the best releases that they have done, period. Okay? Period. I definitely think in the future, a lot of people will start collecting them. If collecting Yu-Gi-Oh becomes a thing. Because right now, what's it called? There's really not a lot of collectors, to be honest with you. There's a couple on eBay right now. Are you a fan of the new TCG Vault stuff that organizations have brought out, like eBay, where you buy/sell the card without having it in your possession? I covered this before. No, I'm not. I'm not a fan of that. The reason is because it takes away from the actual collecting aspect, right? Like the whole collecting is the fact that you can like kind of show it off, right? So the idea is that, the idea that you can, what's it called? Like, buy something or collect something and then not even bring it into your own hands is kind of asinine to me. I mean, at that point, you might as well just buy stocks, right? Like, what's the point in buying cards? Just buy stocks. The whole idea of cards is that you're able to hold that asset, right, in your hands. You're not relying on a computer screen to show you that. So I don't really understand it. I don't know how some. I mean, I understand. Like, I would do it for the stuff that I don't care about, but there's stuff that I care about. I will never put them in the vault. Like, why would I do that? I don't know. Doesn't make sense. I'm not sold on Pharaoh's Rare yet. In King's Court, they were not impressive at all. And even now in pictures, they look, depending on what card it's on. Maybe in person, they will look a lot better. Yeah, I mean, with the God cards, the gods take so much of the image, so it's hard to get that in there. So maybe for something that is less intrusive in the image, maybe it'll look better. Buster Blader is an underrated card. To be honest, it's my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card. Buster Blader is badass, and I agree with you. It is underrated. It's not as loved, especially the BPT art. It's beautiful. In one of TSX's videos, you mentioned you will make a video on Air Neos. I'm interested in what's happening with that card. I mean, TLDR, it's nothing new. Like, I don't have any new information on that, to be honest with you, when compared to anything that is on eBay right now, on YouTube right now. So if you watch those, probably get the same information. Do you know what fees Heritage Auctions charge to sell on there, by the way? 20%. I heard PDWCC charges 3% fee if you take your card out of the vault. Yeah, they do. I'm telling you, it's not your card if you don't own it in your hands. You understand? Like, imagine somebody charging me $3 to take my card out. It's like literally, it's the same reason why I stopped trying to deal with the bank, because they start to ask me questions about when I want to pull out my money. Like, bro, it's my fucking money. I should not be swearing. It's my money. You understand? Like, how are you going to tell me when I can pull it out, when I can't pull it out? Or that I have to explain to you why I have to pull out my money. I pull it out if I want to because it's mine. You understand? That's the problem. This is the main issue that people have today, where they're not willing to even hang on to their stuff because they don't trust themselves to hang on to it. Like, imagine a bank telling me that I can't pull out my money. Like, your job is to provide a service. Your job is not to question me. You pull it out if I say I want to pull it. I want it pulled out. Like, that's it. Simple as that. SMH. Like, actually shaking my head. And the same thing with PWCC. Imagine them charging you money to pull a card out. Like, you're out of your mind, bro. You're actually out of your mind if you pay that. What do I think about core products? Korean products, I think they're a great option for collectors who want OCG products, as they are a lot cheaper than Japan. Absolutely. I think Korean products is a great way to collect if you're on a budget. Like, if you're some kid and you want to buy a nice LOB booster box, or I don't know, like some GX booster box, I think Koreans are a great option. What's the best lost art to grab? Dark Magician Girl 19. As an old school collector, how do you feel about faded cards? I think they are trash. Okay, I don't think they're trash. I think that they are way overrated, number one. Number two, the price is absurd, okay? Like, those should be going for less than regular cards, bro, not more. um, when I say LP, it's equivalent to PSA 5 or 6. Yeah, that's pretty much what LP is. I like the PWCC vault in terms of you can ship when you have a bigger lot, like 10 cards to save shipping instead of 1 to 3 cards. Yeah, but you can pay that. You can pay a collector that, bro. Like, you can pay a collector that, and they'll do that. I do it right now. Right now, I do it. Okay, like I have two guys that receive packages from me, and I pay them so for their services. That's completely different than me paying you to. You actually already pay that to PWCC, or the buyer does, or the seller does, or whatever it is. You're already paying that. The problem is that the fees to pull out your money, or pull out your cards. Like, that's the craziness about it. So the whole idea of, like, what is the word called when you combine things together? What is that called? I forgot the word. But anyway, there's a word where you combine things together and you're able to ship them together. That's not a bad idea. I mean, that would be a great business idea. I think they already have that. It's called Ship My Cards or something like that. So I definitely recommend that. It's just, I don't understand this whole, like, put it there and then and then charge me to take it out. Like, consolidating. Yes, consolidating. That's the word. That's craziness to me. Do you own SM51 Blue Eyes? I did own it. Yeah, I would love to own it back. I love that card. Tax fees, facts, preach. I guess you guys are talking about the pulling money out of the bank. I hate heritage auctions. They wouldn't stop spamming my emails. Literally, I would get more about 5 emails every day. Yeah, like, you gotta make sure, bro. Like, you unsubscribe as soon as you get that first email. That's what I do. Patreon users get 10% off all your stuff. No, not all my stuff. Just like my merch. Like, you guys get 10% off my binders and stuff like that. I don't have 10% margin on a lot of my sealed product, bro. Book Off started selling OG cards. I don't know what Book Off is. Do you think the Starlight Signer Dragons are good to hold? I think that they're good at the right price. Sub $500. Do you think collectibles are a good investment overall, or would you sell everything and buy gold to go safe? Well, gold has as much intrinsic value as collectibles, to be honest with you, if not, like, even less. Um, if you think about it, like, gold really can't be used for anything, right? At least Yu-Gi-Oh cards can be used for nostalgia or dueling or whatever, right? Like, gold is intrinsically just a safe haven for money, right? So you're not really investing in gold. You don't invest in gold. You secure your assets in gold. It's very much like property. Property is not really an investment. Property just goes up along with inflation rate, but doesn't actually produce any money. If anything, it's like a depreciating asset because it freaking pulls money out of your bank account, right? Like, you have taxes, you have maintenance of the house, all the stuff leaks out of your pocket, right? So it doesn't really put money in your pocket the way that other assets can do. You know what I mean? So yeah, and I know people look at property and they're like, it's like the holy grail, but I promise you, property is overrated. Way overrated. You can't even take that shit with you whenever you want to go somewhere. So yeah, but anyway, no, I don't think cards are as safe as gold. Of course not, because more people trust gold, and obviously gold is more reliable because it's indestructible, right? But I do think that cards have better returns if you know what you're doing. How do you decide to put something up on your website versus eBay? I usually put everything on both. The only thing is the cards, the PSA slabs. I don't put the Pokemon stuff on my eBay because I haven't really had time. That's the main reason. I have $1,000 to start collecting. Do you recommend spending it on raw cards, PSA cards, or sealed product? Raw cards. I think raw cards is where you should be at. I think you should pick up a binder, maybe a strictly sealed binder, and then buy raw cards, and then fill that up so that you grow your passion for collecting. And then after that, you can start like, selling some things, upgrading rarities, stuff like that. That's what you should be doing, in my opinion. That's how most people should start if they are trying to begin collecting. I have a video coming up right now that I'm working on. I have a video that I'm working on right now on mistakes that people make when they start collecting, and I'm writing the script right now. So that one should help a lot of you guys out. I would just spend it on stuff you like. That way, worst case, you aren't stuck with stuff you don't like. And most people like cards. That's the thing. Like, the Yu-Gi-Oh is a card hobby, right? When you start buying slabs or sealed product, now you're investing in the hobby, right? But you gotta grow your love for the hobby first, and the way you do that is by raw cards. And that's why I'm a raw card collector. What do you think about Portuguese vintage structures? I recently picked up first ed Yu-Gi for like 140. I think Portuguese is trash. I think Portuguese and Spanish are trash. Those products, LOB, SDK, SDY, were printed all the way up to 2008. Imagine that. That's how much they were printing them. I picked up your binder. Now let's start buying raw cards from you to fill it. Thanks for the answer, guys. I mean, yeah, I have a lot of, I should do a video on like my trade binder, like the stuff that I have for sale, because I have a lot of stuff that what's it called? Like I have a lot of stuff that like this, for example. Let me show you. So like a lot of these right here, like these are pretty much like pack fresh mint CT cards that, what's it called, or like LOB, some MRL first eds, like a lot of stuff that people need for their collections. I just haven't really had the patience to list anything, right? So I wish I could do a video where I post like kind of my trade binder and my wants, and then you guys can like trade me. You know what I mean? Like here's a DTP, like Neos. I have a video on those coming soon. Some retro pack stuff. You know what I mean? Like some Amazonist retro pack 1. Like I have a lot of stuff that people need, but I just haven't had the patience to post them, to be honest with you. Okay, let's see what else you guys are saying. I love how you passionately hate banks. I don't like them either, but need a place to cash pay checks. Would you ever do a video teaching us on how to boycott them as well? You can't boycott them at the moment because centralization is too high. Like government is too huge right now. And the only way that banks are going to go away is, number one, crypto has to take off. Number two, we have to start bartering again. Okay, for like, it sounds kind of crazy, but that is how you boycott them, and then restart. You have to stop using the dollar. That's what it is. Like realistically, that's the way to get back at the banks, and that's what I try to do whenever I have the opportunity. It's almost impossible to operate without the dollar because, again, the government has so much control. But if you want to kind of create a dent in the place where you live, you have to try and not use the dollar. So I'll give you an example. Somebody who did my kitchen counters, like at my parents' place. Okay, I traded with them. Like I literally traded them for cards. Okay, so we basically did a deal there where no dollars were exchanged. We boycotted any sort of like centralization trying to kind of overlook the transaction. And we both got what we wanted, right? Like he literally did the whole countertop for a single card. It was like a very expensive card, but that's how we did it, right? And some people, they trade like, I'll do your snow, I'll do your grass in the summertime, right? And they end up going back and forth. That's the only way. You have to go back to the roots and start up again until crypto becomes prominent. But in the meantime, if you want to create a dent, that's how you do it. That's how I do it. You know what I mean? I try my best. Like whenever somebody wants to offer me trades or barter or anything like that, I always take it, even if I'm taking a small hit, because I'd rather do the right thing than kowtow to the bank. Can't stand them. Bunch of thieves. Thanks for the insight. Always good to get an honest answer. Yeah, Portuguese is not that good, man, unfortunately. Controversial question, but do foreign cards beside the Asians have barely any value? They have value to the right buyer, and those buyers don't come up very often. So because of that, they don't have as much value. They are not as liquid, right? But for example, German cards mean a lot to German people, right? But you're not going to find a lot of Germans outside of Germany, and thus you're kind of stuck selling to Germans, which is a much smaller market. That's kind of how you have to see it. Opinion on German cards. I just answered it. Keep 3 for you, sell the extra is my rule. Trade always works. Exactly, yeah. Yeah, and before I actually did like the card stuff, I actually like did like other types of labor. And what I would do is I would work out a trade with a friend, and then he would do, I don't know, like plumbing or whatever. He would do my boy's washroom, and then he would do something for me in return and stuff like that. Like that's actually how we did it. And it's inefficient because at the end of the day, obviously, when you have a centralized currency, it's way more efficient, but it's not. But it's not like. It's what we have right now until crypto really takes off. Even if you do trade, are you not using their dollar value as a means to determine the deal is fair? We are, but at the same time, it's also about the hours. You have to think of it like that, right? So the hours is actually what's really important. The real value is hours. It's not really dollars, right? Like your time is what's really. So if it takes me to shovel his grass like an hour, or cut his grass an hour, and it takes him to shovel my snow 2 hours, obviously I have to cut his grass twice. So it's that's why it kind of like starts to pay off, because like obviously you cut the grass more often than you shovel snow. But yeah, you are measuring dollars, but that's because that's the currency that we have right now. Eventually, like I tell this to a lot of people, like a lot of my in-person friends, IRL friends, believe it or not, I have some. Like they ask me like what can like if I buy Bitcoin, is it gonna go up? It's like you are not thinking the way that you should be thinking when you're buying crypto, because I don't look at, when I buy Bitcoin, I'm buying $60,000 worth of Bitcoin. If I own 10 Bitcoin, I don't own $200,000. I own 10 Bitcoin because I'm not interested in what the dollar is, because I'm trying to depart myself from the dollar. You understand? And it's a very Herculean task. Like it's a massive task, and not a lot of people are up for it. Not a lot of people have the willpower to do it. Not a lot of people have the courage to do it. But it's something that I have to do in order to get good conscience on my chest before I die. You know what I mean? Like otherwise, I know my soul will punish me for that. So yeah. So it's more about the hours. Now, when it comes to actually like intangible stuff like card values, now obviously we have to use the dollar. Like if I'm trading cards for for services, but at the end of the day, at least we're not transacting in it. We're not circulating the dollar. You know what I mean? Like Sure, sometimes we have to use the evaluation of the dollar at the moment, but that's because other people are using it. Like at the end of the day, this is worth $800, right? Like, but why is it that I know that? It's because somebody else worked, 40 hours a week and got $800 and they traded it for this, right? So, but it's not really worth, you have to think like, it's not really worth 800 pieces of paper, right? Because it's just pieces of paper at the end of the day, right? This actually has value because it has something more than just a piece of paper. This has nostalgic value. It has rarity value, right? The dollar is a piece of paper, and I don't know if you get what I'm saying. I don't know. Hopefully I'm coming off like clear. Is there any way I can leave feedback for great service? I bought Legendary Collection 3 Yugi's World from off your website. Hey, I appreciate it, Kane. I remember that you emailed me. Thank you very much, man. The thing that you can do for me is like the videos, like my Facebook page, I don't know, like my posts, like that. That's kind of the way to give feedback, in a way where I'm not trying to go on Google and get reviewed. Just curious, how long you've been collecting for? Since 2016. Usually based off manga and American kids, no internet or cable vision. Thanks again for the live. Strictly tuning in now. Appreciate the community here. Appreciate it, my man. Thank you for tuning in. How many times a week do we need to cut your grass for a spot in the next box break? I mean, dude, look, my editor right now, I'm paying him in cards. Imagine that. So like I'm sending him cards in return for his help with editing because like money's kind of tight right now. And then he can do whatever he wants with the cards. So believe it or not, like that's actually what he's doing. Again, shout out to you, Nano. How many times? I already answered that. I agree, but it will never be dollar over crypto. Not even close. On that basis, isn't crypto doomed to fail? Well, that's because you have trust in the dollar, right? Like that's because you have not been betrayed by the dollar. If you talk to Venezuelans, for example, they had the Venezuelan dollar, right? At one moment, they thought, oh, this is just crypto. Oh, this is just gold. This is whatever, right? After the Venezuelan dollar crashed and they lost faith in it, now it is not so, crypto less than dollar, right? Because at the end of the day, they lost faith in it. See, for me, I already lost faith in the dollar in 20, like, to be honest with you, I lost it earlier when I started really understanding how money works, but I really lost it in 2020 when they started doing like the what's it called, when they started really doing the inflation, right? So I lost it like 100%. I was like, okay, time to like really get my get my value out of these pieces of paper, right? So right now you have trust in it, and I don't blame you, right? Like you can go into a store, give them $1 and expect to get like O. Henry bar for that. But there will come a point, because if you just look historically, right, there has never been a fiat currency that didn't go to zero. There's never been one, right? So at some point there will come a day where whether it's you, whether it's your children or your grandchildren, that faith will be lost because that value went to zero. And then at that point, that generation is fucked. Because that generation is where really the inflation sets in. And that's where it really kind of hurts. And for me, the reason I don't participate in the whole banks thing is because I don't want somebody to come to me in the future, or some child that is as conscious or as aware as I am of the monetary system, to look at me and say I betrayed them. You understand? Like how I believe the past generations betrayed us. So that's why I will not allow that on my conscience. And that's why I waged war against the banks. So yeah, it's just you haven't lost faith. That's a summary of it. At one point, there will come a time when you will. It's just you probably don't have enough of an understanding in the monetary system just yet. The problem is that very few activities have crypto implement. Absolutely. I mean, but you know, when Visa first came out, a lot of people said, yo, who the hell wants a credit card, right? I'd rather just pay in cash. But now look at it, right? Now look at the technology. So you just got to give it some time. Hi there. Hello. I do understand your point and agree with it, but as you rightly pointed, it's a big step to try and execute. Absolutely, man. Are you buying a lot right now? I'm buying less than before. That's for sure. I'm buying less than before. Yen is tanking. Yeah. Appreciate the answer on the banks. Very passionate. Thank you very much. They print money to oblivion. Yo, Omar, what's going on? What's your Instagram? I want to ask a question, but it's not a question I want to put in the chat. StrictlySealedInc@gmail.com. Also, if you need any drywall work done, I'll take Blue Eyes as payment. Absolutely. Does owning a collection of cards or other stuff worth $2 million make you a millionaire? Yeah, I saw the room tour and it's my favorite video of yours. Incredible collection for collecting only for 6 years. No, it does not make I mean, net worth wise, yes, I would say I have a net worth of $1 million, but it does not make me a millionaire because for me, a millionaire is somebody who gets revenue every single year for $1 million. Okay, or like profit $1 million. That's what I believe is a millionaire. Like a lot of people think like they bought a house in 2005, 300 grand. Now it's worth $1 million. They think that they're millionaires. No, you're not, buddy. No, you're not. Now, for me, I'm net positive $2 million because I don't have debt. I've never had debt past 2015. That's where I kind of like drew the line. I said no more debt for me. I will never do that again. That was because I went to school for debt, the biggest mistake of my life. But most people, they think that they're millionaires because they have, like an asset worth $2 million. I do not think that I am a millionaire because I do not generate $1 million of profit every single year, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But in terms of like net positive, yeah, I am. I'm plus $2 million because of the collection, if that makes sense. But I wouldn't even say it's $2 million. It's probably like $1 million because 50% of it lost its value. So yeah. Oh, yeah. I feel like the government would love nothing more than for us to switch from cash to digital currencies. I can't even buy Nespressos with cash since 2020. They refuse it. Okay, I want to actually address this because a lot of people have this misconception, especially the people with like so-called conspiracy theorists. So the idea is that yes, I don't disagree that they'll be able to monitor every single transaction. Okay, I don't disagree with that. But it's about how much are we gaining by having a proper solvent currency, okay? Having a real currency compared to a fake one in exchange for more taxes or more accurate taxes, right? Like, again, I'm against taxation, right? And I know that the government wants electronic currency because of taxation. But at the same time, electronic currency like Bitcoin is auditable, right? Like right now, nobody can audit the Federal Reserve. Nobody can audit Central Bank of Canada, right? So because of this, at least with Bitcoin, we understand that we can audit the thing. We can actually take a look at how the government is spending. So when we have this, what we do, we have a technological advantage over the government just spending willy-nilly whenever they want. And you have to understand the promise that comes with a real currency. And that is, number one, a lot more people are willing to save instead of just invest, aka spend, because investing is just spending. You're just spending the cash into another asset and hoping that it will go up, right? So you'll be more willing to save the asset instead of spend it. And what that does is, number one, okay, it makes you more long-term. It makes you more of a long-term thinker instead of just like right now, like how much can I get from my money right now, right? You work, for example, imagine a world where you work, you get like, I don't know, a gold coin, and because it's not produced by very easily, or let's just say a Bitcoin, and it's because you can't produce it like infinitely, all of a sudden now sitting on this Bitcoin is more valuable than investing in a card or investing in whatever it is that you want to invest in, right? So or so-called invest in. So when you have this type of mentality where now you're more easy, like imagine you work and your money grows just by saving it. Like no interest rate, you don't have to rely on the bank, like nothing like that. Why? Because, well, first of all, you have to economically, like let's just say that we have this much gold supply, all right? If we are able to work and produce more than what we have in gold supply, what's going to happen? The gold price is going to go up. So if you're holding gold, or if you worked for gold, all of a sudden your savings and your time is worth more now, right? So whatever value you accumulated is now worth more. Instead of, if we have dollars here, right, and then we work more, all of a sudden they print the dollars, all of a sudden now we lost value for our time. What's happening is that your literal life force right now is being drained away by inflation. It's literally draining away your life force, because your life force is being put to what? To work in order to get these pieces of paper, right? When you understand that aspect, then you start to kind of change your mind about how things really work. You're living your life every single day, going to work every single day, right, to get this piece of paper. And yet these people can print it out of the sky. You understand? Like that should come as like a huge thud to you. You know what I mean? And not only that, you don't have any of it. You aren't even rich like them. You understand? So not only are you working your ass off for money that they can print out of thin air, you don't have enough of it to barely survive. Most people are living check to check. So it's like, it's literally, I would rather take more taxation, okay, or more accurate taxation or whatever, for in return for a more honest way to deal with money. And that is just that's just the iceberg of it. Let's just not talk about how, for example, if the government stops being able to spend however much they want, all this nanny housing, right, for single moms out the door, all these abortion clinics out the door, all these other things, all these like free money to every single person. For example, like, you're not going to have welfare. All of a sudden the refugee problem is solved, because the refugees, only the hardworking people will come here, because they're the ones that want to start businesses, right? You're not going to get these people that just come here and just sit on welfare their whole life, right? So that's gone out the window, because there's no more spending, right? So all these things, all of a sudden, completely leave the economy. All these disruptive things leave the economy, because the government is not allowed to spend however much they want. All these zombie companies, all these zombie corporations like GM, like these waste ass companies that don't produce Tesla, gone. They'll be gone, because why? Well, I don't know if Tesla is profitable right now. Uber will be gone. Lyft is gone, because those are not profitable companies. The only reason they're surviving is because the government is able to spend and keep them alive. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. For me, that's the way that I see it. I mean, you can tell me why I would be wrong in this scenario, but I would love to. I would love to be like proven wrong, but it seems to me like that's the best way. And I just can't imagine going back to gold, because it'll be very difficult to transact in a very interconnected world, right? Like, let's say you want to buy something off of me, right? Are you going to really send me a bag of gold in the mail for me to buy off of you? It just doesn't make sense, right? Like, yeah, I don't know. To me, it just seems like that is the way to, I'd rather take the bitter pill of being taxed more. And this is from somebody who hates taxation, okay? I think it's the absolute worst form of theft. I'd rather take that than, what's it called? Deprive like the future generations of their wealth because we spent it all up by fiscal spending. Let's just see what you guys are saying. Hey man, on your site, do you know which booster box protectors would fit legendary duelist size boxes? You have to grab those off my eBay, bro. You can't grab them off my website. I haven't put them on my website yet. Go to my eBay where it says sealed protectors, like in the description. You'll be able to find legendary duelist protectors there. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you purchasing my product. Won't governments just use private ledgers? They're being tested. What do you mean by that? If you don't mind explaining it to me, let me know. I don't know what private ledgers are. I don't know the ins and outs of crypto. I just know like the kind of fundamentals and basic economics. Airbnb needs to go out of business. I hate that company. Isn't Airbnb profitable though? So true. That's a great perspective. Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. Thank you. I don't know if Airbnb is profitable or not. Basically, any non-profitable company will go by the wayside. Like, we won't see any more of those. Let me just get some water. Building your own country when? Well, number one, I don't believe in countries. I think countries is a sham. It's a very cult-like idea. So countries is not a real thing. If you actually like truly think about it, there's no lines in the sand that were put there by the creator or God or whatever you want, or anything. Like even nature, it didn't put any lines in the sand. It's something that the human mind made up. So countries is not a real thing. It's just it's just something people made up in their minds and they believe in it. So no, I do not believe I will ever own a country or make my own country because I don't believe in that concept. Hey, did you see Piers Morgan interview with Kanye? I don't know who Piers Morgan is, bro. I barely know who Kanye is, man. Well, I don't know what Kanye is doing or anything like that. Like you gotta give me like detailed question about what's happening. So because I really don't know. I can listen to your philosophy all day long. I appreciate it, my man. Thank you. You know what I don't find fair? How come businesses such as mechanics, barbershops, and restaurants, and many more get paid in cash, while if workers get paid in cash, it's money laundering? So how is it not money laundering if they get paid in cash? They're still supposed to report it, right? Like they still have to get robbed for that. I meant Piers Morgan, that dude that interviewed Andrew Tate. Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah, but that guy is that guy's just an instigator, bro. Like, can't take him too serious. I did a thing. uh, I did a video on my Strictly Conscious, like talking about the whole interview between Pierce and and Andrew Tate. There was one part where I actually could not stop laughing. Like I literally could not stop laughing on stream. I was dying. Man, just thinking about it just actually kills me. Um, you know what I don't find fair? How come? Yeah, I already. I don't know what. I'm pretty sure both are so-called money laundering. Um, Don't need to name the owner, but best collection you ever saw. What was so special about it? I don't know. There's a lot of special collections, bro. Like for me, I'm not one of those guys where it's like size is everything. No homo. uh, like for me, the size of the collection is not what makes up everything. So I I think that how you display it is better. And in terms of displayability, I mean, Old School Expert has a great collection. Ruxin has a great collection. I just think people should do more of an effort to display their stuff, right? And like actually show it off, like how I try to show it off to inspire you guys, right? I think that that's a what's it called? Uh, what's it called? That's kind of yeah, that's kind of how I go about thinking. It's not about really size. No homo. Bitcoin is on the public blockchain. Ripple are testing private ledgers, which have limited visibility. As far as I know, CBDCs will most likely end up on some kind of private ledgers the public can't see. Oh yeah, that's what I meant by Bitcoin though. What I meant by crypto, I didn't mean like every crypto, bro. I meant literally a public blockchain. I think that is the future if the dollar collapses before they bring in these CBDCs, right? Like if the dollar collapses and people truly lose faith, what's going to happen is a lot of us, okay, at least the people that understand money, okay, the reason I do this in general, okay, is so that when shit does hit the fan, okay, you know not to look to the government for help. You know what I mean? Because they are not going to help you. The reason I do anything that I'm doing right now, any of the talking, any of the philosophy, any of the ideas I'm trying to discuss with you guys, is so that when shit hits a fan, you understand what to look out for when in order to kind of see the light through the darkness, right? Because yeah, I'm not saying I don't think CBDCs are the solution. No. I'm saying crypto as in literally a public ledger where that people can view and can audit all the time. You even did a video reacting to Muhammad Hijab. I just seen. I definitely got to check that out. Yeah, I just talked about his criticism of the idea of liberalism, which I disagree with. Thoughts on the Ghost Share Blue Eyes original art one? Do you own one? No, I don't. I'm not really too big of a fan of those Ghost Shares. You know what I can't stand is tipping in the U.S. Not sure what y'all do in Canada, but I bought food to go to a place in LA and little screen they said 20, 24, 20, 28%. That's craziness. Yeah, I mean, I tip when the service is really good, but not 28%, bro. Like that's crazy. Usually what I do is like if it's like $36, I would tip to 40 just so that I have an even bill. That's what I do. Have you found Soul Taker PSA 10 to complete that set of secrets from Glass video that you uploaded? No, it's not. No. Just wanted to say thank you for your great content and insights of the high rare collecting. Appreciate it, man. Stay tuned for Friday's video and next week's video and so on and so forth. I have a lot of stuff coming up. Thank you so much, man. I'm surprised I retained 42 people here. What are your thoughts, guys, on what I'm saying? Am I completely crazy? Let me know your thoughts. I actually want to know. I would love some like feedback because the thing is like I usually get either people that agree with me or people that stay silent. I would love to know like why you guys think I'm wrong, if you guys do. Can you do a Strictly Conscious stream on Kanye West? Even if most people think he's outlandish, I think he's actually enlightened. Sure, man. Send me a link of a video that you'd like me to cover, and I'll take a look at it, and I'll see if I have any ideas that I can add into the conversation. Actual genius, Giga Chad. Who? Euro packs are a lot harder to find than NA. I don't think you're crazy, but there's a lot more to unpack. It's one of those ones where I would call my homie to go deep into this topic. Yeah, I mean, you just think about it. Like for me, I always like try to go back to the natural world to see if what I'm doing is if what I'm saying is logically truth or not. Breaking pattern from Archaics, which you put me on, resonated with me in my soul. Absolutely, bro. I mean, I don't know if I watched that video, but what I'm assuming on is like taking new actions every single day. Absolutely. You don't want to you don't want to keep repeating things. Absolutely. Also, Mark Passio's seminar. Absolutely. Mark Passio is the one who taught me most of my philosophy, to be honest with you. He's the one that really kind of woke me up, if that makes sense. And then after that, I kind of like took it from there, and I started delving into like the deeper aspects of the basic philosophy. You know what I mean? Like he teaches the basic ones, and then you have to basically break down how to come to the conclusion that, for example, why privatization of roads is the most effective, or privatization of healthcare is the most effective, stuff like that. That kind of, you have to do that work by yourself after. Are you a Toronto Raptors fan? No, I don't watch I don't watch sports. Bro, I'm like a hermit, I'm telling you. I'm literally a hermit. I think the last thing I watched was like 2017. Yeah. And Mark Passio is the one that inspired me doing this, by the way. Like me taking time out and doing this. Um that Mark Passio is the one who, you know how like he yells at you if you don't do stuff. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but uh, yeah. Tyler G, yo, Strictly, what's good? Hey, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning in. You don't watch any sports? Sounds crazy. Yeah, I don't watch sports. I used to watch like basketball a lot, and then I stopped watching in like 2017, I think. Do your friends share the same view / philosophy as you? Uh, so okay, my friends, I feel like it's my duty if I have certain knowledge to share, okay? And I've shared it with every single person that I know, or at least I feel like I respect enough to at least understand. And there's two reactions. One's that completely excommunicated me. Like I don't talk to them anymore. Even though like I knew them for like 10 years almost, and they completely gone from my life. Like I don't talk to them anymore at all. And then the others kind of, they understand what I'm saying, but they are too cowardly to do anything about it, or to make any changes in their life. And those are people that anytime the topic comes up, I do bring in my ideas, and I point out how they're being like kind of hypocritical. Like when they complain about something, or they say, oh, like, I don't know, like these people at the community center, they're not working properly. I tell them, okay, so what is the problem there? How do you think you can solve it? And then the thing is, like, they end up realizing that they just want to complain. They don't really actually want to solve the problem, right? Because solving the problem is very easy, right? And I present a solution and so on and so forth. Lately, though, I've kind of started holding back because I feel like they understand my ideas now, and me reiterating it isn't going to change anything. So I kind of just let them go, and like it's on them now. Like my job is just to be a warner, if that makes sense. I'm a messenger of the ideas, and then they can do whatever they want after that. With my parents, I fight with them a lot, because with my parents, I actually really do care that they're doing the right thing, but I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. So yeah, most of my friends, they understand, and they do think I'm correct. It's just they won't do anything about it. That's it. Like they won't make any type of sacrifice for the right cause, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's the main. Those are like my really good friends. Those are the people that I knew for like 15, 16 years. So those guys, actually, once I started sharing my ideas, I actually was a lot more respected by them, because they know that I'm not a person that fucks around. You know what I mean? Like when I say something, I mean it. You know what I mean? I do it whenever it is. So like that kind of, they gained a lot more respect for me, because before then I was like a fuckboy waste man, bro. Like before like, because I would say the main change happened to me in 2016, where I kind of was just like, holy, gotta change what the hell I'm doing. And it was after like I fell into like massive debt in school and stuff like that. So that's kind of that was kind of like the big change that I had. It's like that 2015 2016 era. I left school, dropped out 3 times, had like 50K in debt. I was like, okay, I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong here. And then after that, I would kind of I started to understand myself. I started to understand the world around me more. And I started to realize that most people don't know shit. Most people, they don't know anything about anything for the most part. Like, bro, they can work their entire life in the bank and they will not understand a single thing about money. They can work an entire thing with medicine. They will not understand a single concept outside of what they were taught. And it's like, that's where I was like, okay, these people are gotten, bro. Like, can't help these people, man. And I just like say my understanding. I try to address any concerns that people have in the ideas that I present, and then after that, it's up to them to make the choice. I mean, I can't force them. I'm a person who believes in freedom, and I mean, you can't force people. You know what I mean? That's the thing. Like, it is what it is. Like, what I'm doing right now is just me sharing the understanding of what is true freedom, what is true philosophy, and why it is inherently and morally correct. And then after that, whoever's viewing, that's their decision. I mean, they make that choice on their own. Would you come out of your hermit and meet your supporters and they come and visit you in Toronto, though? I mean, I'll be down to chill. I mean, I don't want you to think like I'm just some dude who sits at home all the time. No, like I still play sports and stuff like that. I hang out with all my friends. It's just I try not to get into too many conversations with people, because my ideas are like so out there. Like these people, like they're not ready for what I'm about to say. You understand? Like they're not ready for something like that. So, but for me, like, I'm not interested in small talk. Like, I'm not interested in like talking and complaining about shit. Like, for me, it's like, okay, if I see a problem in the community center, I'm going to literally look on how to solve it. If I see a problem with Tim Hortons or whatever it is that's inflicting my life, I'm going to try and solve it. Right? I'm not interested in like just sitting there and complaining about shit. So, yeah. Yeah, that's kind of the. So yeah, I'm definitely down to chill, and I like being challenged. That's what it is. And to be honest with you, it gets to a point where the reason I spend so much time online and trying to, you know, like look up Mark Passio, Archaics, whatever, is because these people are ones that can teach me. I'm dying for someone to actually teach me something now, because I've spent so much time in the past 6 years trying to teach myself that now I've kind of like excelled past most people. And most people, like, when they listen to me, they're completely fascinated by my viewpoints. They're completely their worldview is definitely challenged after they talk with me, right? And for me, I look for people that do that to me, and that's I can't really find those in my current circle of people. So I have to go online, and that's why I say like I'm very hermit like, because I spend a lot of my time online because I'm trying to learn from somebody who is like kind of delved into certain topics that I have not studied myself or learned myself. So yeah, but I'm definitely down to chill to answer your question. I love your live streams. I wish you'd do a statue video every now and then about the custom statue community and how it was when you collected. I could send you a link to a good video. Absolutely, bro. Send me. I am actually gonna do a video on Gray Hulk and Green Hulk. I'm trying to buy them right now. I don't know if. Oh shh. Holy! I dropped water on my. Oops. Yo, Kels, could you try these up? I have to drop the other stuff. My bad, I dropped water on my... Make sure this is not wet. Shit. Sorry about that. My PSA 8 Blaine's Charizard. I dropped water on it. Sorry about that. Had to save my cards real quick. Yeah, but I'm buying up a lot of my older statues like Doctor Doom, the two Hulks, the Ninja Turtles, stuff like that, and I'm gonna do videos on all of them because I really want to document them. 2017 was peak NBA too. Yeah, for sure. Any thoughts on Peterson's outlook on life? Jordan Peterson, I find that he sits the fence quite a bit. When he sat with that anarchist guy, what's his face? Michael Malice. Okay, I really like Michael Malice. I really resonate with him. He's somebody who truly understands philosophy. When he sat with Michael Malice, I recommend you guys watch that interview. I could see that he knew that Michael Malice was telling the truth about anarchism and like the boycotting of government and how he feels towards police and stuff like that. And Jordan Peterson agrees, but he's not willing to say it. And that's what makes me believe like he's just a puppet. That's what I believe about Jordan Peterson. Because when you don't say it, even though that you understand that it's the truth, it means that you're hiding it because you're backed by somebody or whatever. Are you going to do a big overview of Sassy Auto's quarterly auctions when it ends? I'm actually going to do it before it ends, and we're going to do it live. So that's going to be, I think, in 5 days. I'm very excited for that. I'm going to plug my boy Sassy, man. I have to do the interview with him. He's just very busy. As for feedback, your videos look very professional. It seems that you have a lot of knowledge in many different aspects of life. Definitely all this knowledge helped you with Yu-Gi-Oh! Investing. Absolutely. Thank you, my man. I appreciate you, Coffee Lab. And thank you for purchasing the binders. I try my best to make them as good as possible. I hope you enjoy. Facts. And yes, they do have adverse reactions to truth. Do your parents think Yu-Gi-Oh! Is cool? Nah, they don't. Maybe because your parents don't have enough Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards to trade people. Maybe you should give them some. I just joined, but I find it funny when people look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards, for example, they think it's stupid that some cards have insane prices because they're rare or old. That is completely stupid. And yeah, I mean, you tell them, it is kind of stupid that they have that much value, but I understand why. Shit, I think my battery died. Okay, 1 second. Okay, that should be good enough. Now I'm gonna look down. Hope that's okay. Can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. Exactly, yeah. PGLD cards are so underrated, so hard to get. Magician Girl PSA 10. Nah, I think they're overrated. Because it's a piece of paper. I'm like, what do you think money is made of? And the only reason it's worth something is because we humans gave it concept of its value. Exactly, yeah. Like that's something that people cannot grasp, that money is just paper. Yeah, it's so hard talking to my parents about my views. I don't know if I'll ever break through with them. Yeah, like for me, I kind of just I feel a lot of pity when I talk to them. Like I feel like they are so confused, and this is not from like an egotistical standpoint. It's just their ego will not allow them to listen to my point of view or like see any merit in what I'm saying, because number one, they either have the conception that they know everything because they're older, but another thing is that they get full of fear, because for them, you have to understand that at their age, they had 3 times, or my parents are 60, they had 3 times the amount of fear pumped into their system compared to us, right? So for us, we're more susceptible to the idea of recognizing that we had fear pumped into our system. For them, it's all they know. And that's the main reason why what's it called? Older people, you can't break through with them. They say it's because they're old, but that's not the case. It's just they didn't do any work when they were younger. Like I will show you many people who are 40, 50, 80 years old. Look up someone called, what's his face? He's a very advocate. He's an advocate for libertarianism. Okay, sure. Ron Paul, for example. My wife said Ron Paul. Look up Ron Paul, bro. The guy's like 80 years old, 70 years old. Okay, his mind, you can still learn from him. You understand? The older generation is so gotten, bro. Like there's literally nothing that they can learn from. They literally cannot learn from anything, bro. You can't learn. Oh my god, I can't think. The alarm is. Sorry. You can't learn anything from the older generation. They're so gotten, man. Like I just feel so bad for them, man. But the problem is that they took everything from us. Like that's what pisses me off. So like they took everything and they don't even know that they took everything. Also, the Rainbow Dragon Effect Monster Ghost came in. So dope, not gonna lie. Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the business, man. I appreciate it, my man. And thank you for your subscription on Patreon. It really does mean a lot. Strictly, aside from the hobbies like Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon, what else do you do for work? Right now, I'm trying to take off YouTube. Although I don't think that this type of content is gonna do very well with the Yu-Gi-Oh! Audience, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm trying to take off with YouTube because I think that I have value to bring. That's why. Do you listen to Patrick Bet David? No, I do not. But I'll check him out if you recommend him. As I used to work in the museum basement, knowledge of ancient and the unusual is my specialty. Very interesting. Do you like the original Lord of the Rings trilogy? I mean, I think they're okay, but I definitely think that they have a lot of esoteric meanings in them. You know what I mean? They symbolize a lot of things, and I should do a video on Lord of the Rings, to be honest with you. It's not a coincidence that Lord of the Rings, they had 4 travelers going, and they go into the Eye of Sauron that watches everything, and things like, for example, Teletubbies that has the 4 the four Teletubbies, and then there's the Eye of Sauron. The baby watching over the sun. It's not a coincidence. They definitely mean a lot of things, and it's the same message. Do you watch House of the Dragon? If so, what did you think about it? I watched House of the Dragon with my wife the other day. I thought, number one, the politics was great. There was definitely a lot of like feminism, like and wokeism in it, but like that's kind of to be expected now. But bro, like watching dragons is like so sick, man. Just seeing them on screen is so cool. Like I don't know. I love the way that they walk. So much presence. So sick. But with that being said, for those of you guys who did check out Archaics, if you want to know what the Valerians represent, they are representative of the Anuna, the Anunnaki. When they bring the serpent or the dragon, they're bringing knowledge. That's what the dragons represent, by the way. They bring knowledge to the what they call the first men, right? What they call the first men are the Starks and those characters with like a simple name, right? The Starks, they're and then you have the Andals, which are the more progressed nation, which is the Lannisters and Tyrells and stuff like that. And then you have like the really fancy names. Like you can even see it in their names. Like, bro, George R. R. Martin is definitely in the know. Like he definitely knows a lot more than he lets on. But that really fancy Targaryen Valerian name, it's very unique to that nation. That's because they were considered to have more enlightened. Or I thought House of the Dragon was pretty good. The woke stuff didn't drive me crazy the way it's because they actually used the woke stuff in a good way, and that's why I say like it was actually really good. Like they definitely put some messages in there, but I think that like they executed really well. I really liked it. I loved it. So yeah. I thought House of the Dragon. Do you watch mangas? I don't know what that is. You mean do I read mangas? I do not believe the Anuna are aliens, by the way. I think that they are human. It's just they had gifts better than other humans. Did you read any of the GOT books? No, I read I think like half of the first one, but bro, like George R. R. Martin just puts way too much detail, man. Like I just got bored. Like bro, like stop describing things for no reason. Like I get why he's doing it, and I get the passion, but like it just gets boring at a point. Binge the whole Anuna playlist on Archaics. Yeah, that's why the Targaryens had the blonde hair. So do the Valerians. If you buy cards online, you rather go for price or condition? I'd rather go for condition because I have the capital to spend. But for somebody who doesn't have it, I recommend you go for condition. Yeah. Anyway, guys, it's 6:00. It's been 2 hours. I'm gonna call it a night. Are you making that video on buying OCG cards? Yeah, like I'm telling you guys, Monday and Friday. Okay, now I have an editor. It's over. Like now I'm gonna get so much stuff so much stuff out for you. Just like make sure you hit the like button. Just keep supporting the channel, because honestly, like I have to like pay him with cards, but I still have to pay him. So now like I really need to see financial backing before I can see I can like call it as this is something that I really want to invest in, because I put a lot of money into the equipment and the gear, and you're going to see some really hot stuff. All right. Anyway, thanks again, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.